West Ascension Consolidated Drainage District meeting is called to order for February 7, 2019. Mind standing for invocation. Bow our head, please. Dear Lord, bless this board to make the right decision for this community, dear Lord. Also bless this great state, parish, and city of Donaldsonville. Dear Lord, bless the Armed Forces Service who give us the freedom that we have today to make the decision for our people. Dear Lord, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call. Everyone is here, Ms. Peggy, except Mr. Anderson. What'd you say, sir?
On vacation?
Oh, move.
His wife is at
He's still, okay, yeah, wife had that accident. Item number 3 is accepting the minutes for January 3rd of 2019. Moved by Mr. Dawson, second by myself. Any objection? No objection. Minutes approved. Item number 4, St. James Assumption Parish drainage issue, Bayou, Napoleon. Mr. Moose Pierce.
The engineers, T. Baker Smith, they're completing their research on a partial description in the parishes of St. James and Assumption. And they had 3 parcels that have a large list of heirs. And it was telling me the survey crews are expected to be out on the site on February the 11th, well, that's Monday, to perform the depth surveys on the pipelines. And they expect that to take 2 to 3 weeks, weather permitting, and then after that, they're gonna, after that's completed, the pipeline crossing permits will be sought from the each pipeline owner.
All right. Any questions on?
We got any financial report?
Ms. Peggy? We didn't get one? Okay. All right. Any question on item number 4? None? Moving on. Item number 5, West Ascension Drainage Master Plan Update. Mr. Pierce.
As you all know, the master plan was presented to the city on January 30th, and with the mayor of Donaldsonville there and Ascension Parish staff, and you 2 guys, councilmen in attendance. And I'll jump to number 6 with the agreement with the West Ascension. There was some discussions on proposals, so going forward, I just need to know which direction y'all want to pursue. I'll go in.
All right, so item 6, we're just going to go to agreement with West Ascension Drainage and the city of Donaldsonville. What direction you're looking for us to pursue there, Mr. Pierce?
Whatever y'all want.
What's your recommendation?
We can look at some possible funding, like was mentioned in that meeting. And I guess there's several ways you can do that.
I thought we had set that, I don't know, I guess we didn't set that in motion. I was in favor of that myself, is to do an evaluation of what it costs to maintain the drainage in the city, and then see, how much additional revenue that would require, and then have a proposal for a way to close that gap.
I met with some staff, and we hashed over some costs for within the city limits, and we possibly could come back with something, an estimate on how much it would cost to take care of that, to take care of the roadside ditches within within the city limits that is not currently being
I think we need
maintained
to,
by the
I guess
parish.
the other thing that came up, we need to be clear about this distinction between roadside ditches and subsurface drainage within the city.
Right.
So does that include subsurface drainage, or is it just above, on the surface drainage or not?
That's going to include
Sort of
piping
recommendation
and
probably bring.
piping and open ditches, yeah, within the city limits.
Say that again?
The piping, the culverts, and the open ditches within the city limits.
But not the subsurface drainage, is that what you're saying? Anyway, that's what, there needs to be a proposal for that. Does it include the, whatever the proposal is, does it include the subsurface drainage, or is it just surface?
We can do whatever we want to do, whatever y'all.
Well, you have to do, how much money does it take if you included the subsurface drainage, or if you didn't? So I guess when you come back,
We can make a differential on that. Give you an estimate on that. So if y'all want us to give estimates on that, we can do that. Within the city limits,
I'll make that motion.
Motion allow the administration to prepare the
Prepare a proposal for
sub and above.
separated, and then, how much additional funds that would take, and then a proposal for supplying those additional funds.
All right.
Was that not prepared proposal for subsurface?
Subsurface and surface drainage within the city, separated, with the cost separated, and then in each case, include in the proposal how you would fund the shortfall.
Motion by Mr. Dawson, second by myself. Any objection? No objection. Motion approved. Item number 7. 9th Street drainage issue, Denby and Son Funeral Home. I talked to Mr. Charles Dempsey. He is the family owned, he represents the family. And currently there's been flooding. This issue has been a reoccurring issue. And Mr. Dempsey, if you don't mind standing and address your issues. One of them is your next door, across the street from you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joseph. Excuse me. My name is Charleston Denby. I'm one of the partners in Denby and Son Funeral Home Incorporated, where we've been located at 900 Magnolia Street, Donaldsonville, for the past 60 years. Over those 60 years, we've had issues regarding flooding, and some of those issues have been, of course, over 60 years has been pretty much addressed. But for the past 5 years, we have reoccurring issues that we need your immediate help on. And it's just not for my business, but the surrounding area of Port Barrett, but mainly from West 9th, Catawba Street, the streets that surround the old Lowry campus, which is now occupied by the Church of Donaldsonville. In 2018, we had a remodel completed, which was from the flood from 2016, which we all know was a major problem for pretty much the whole parish. But currently, anywhere from a moderate to a heavy rain that lasts an hour and a half to say 3 hours, we have flooding. And if you ever have the time to look at it, and I'm sure some of you guys have, Mr. Pearson, Mr. Joseph, possibly Mr. Dawson, but the old Lowry campus is a whole city block. Catawba Street, West 7th, and Martin Luther King is covered drain holes, culverts. West Ninth is an open ditch. It's my philosophy and opinion that when the water, when it rains, that consists on that campus, it's draining off, but the main part of it is draining toward West Ninth, which is about our business, and the ditches overflow because there's nowhere, the water's just not flowing fast enough. And I know there's some issues that are going to be addressed as far as some widening of ditches and so on, but it's the issue. I have to maintain a pallet of sandbags next to the funeral home on a yearly basis. I used to move them back and forward, but not no more. They stay there because I know we have a heavy rain, moderate rain. We got to put sandbags down. And it's mostly with some traffic that's coming through there, pushing it in there. And I've done it. I've put barriers up, parking, just to keep people from coming down the street a few times, you know, because it's a major issue. So I'm here to ask the board for some immediate consideration and help to alleviate that issue as far as the flood waters. Going back to the Church of Donaldsonville, they're currently working on putting in a football field on that campus. They brought in some dirt, I don't know how much, but they brought in some dirt and kind of cultivated it. But their plan is to put a football soccer field on that open area. So I went and spoke to the staff and the pastor there, and they assured me that it wouldn't be an issue as far as additional flooding. But again, nobody's can guarantee that. No one can guarantee that because I don't think there was no kind of studies done or permits or what have you. And I'm not knocking the church. They're a very good organization, and they're welcome in our community. But the potential for having the ground elevated and more rainwater coming off of that, coming toward the drainage, to me is not going to be helpful at all. So that, to me, needs to be addressed either by the board or the city of Donaldsonville. So again, you know, I'm speaking on behalf of my business, but also some other residents that I spoke to with a lot of concerns about the flooding. So hopefully in the near future we can get some work done to help alleviate those issues. I thank you. Any questions? Me?
Yeah, John, I know you haven't been here before.
2 years ago.
And I know me and you have spoke, but we have put a plan together, but that plan is not funded. I'm just letting you know that right now. And I'm hoping that we can solve this problem with local funds right here. With it, I mean, it runs from you, it runs to a JB. It's all run to that level. But we're going to have to do something because, once again, I do get a phone call from him every time it rains. And we need to put some of our engineers on the immediate and then try to figure out something.
Mr. Joseph, excuse me. I do have a video that I recorded on my phone on December the 8th of 2018 where we had a moderate rain. It might have been raining about an hour and a half. And you wouldn't believe how fast that water came up. So I actually put it on video in case somebody want to look at it. But I ended up, I'm going to say patrolling, but I rode around and recorded the waters, how it was coming up fast.
But the football field, if the football and soccer field come, everything, half of that 10 acres of land goes directly to 9th Street to one drainage that goes to, what the street called?
Catawba?
Catawba. And it's just not working. He's correct. It get about a foot of water comes over the road, then it goes to the funeral home. We need to figure out something, and I'm hoping that Moose can come up with a plan and we can address it, whatever funds we have to solve this problem. It's the only business currently is consistent flooding that I know of.
So which way does that drain? Does that drain across Highway 1 or does it go
Right.
across Highway 1?
Highway 1.
Is that where the choke point is, where it goes?
The
on
choke point is Catawba and West 9th.
9th Street.
It's not, it's eventually getting to LA 1 or across, but that's where the choke point is from my standpoint, and of course coming down West 9th.
Well,
But like where JB is, he's across Highway 1.
yeah, but the water drain that way, but everything in that 10 acre, it does not cross the street. It goes about 500, about 200 yards, 300 yards
Back on West 9th?
from Martin Luther King. And
Right.
it come all the way down 9th Street, and it collect all the water off the campus, and it goes to
That
9th
one point.
and Catawba.
Correct.
So have we had any engineering work done to?
That is one of our projects that was on there, on that list to do. But I'm hoping, I talked to Charlie, I think we can solve some of it by relieving it. We put some culverts to go to, what that is, Mulberry Street?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. And the street above that, what that, Magnolia?
Lane. Mulberry's the one before.
All right.
Yeah.
And Magnolia.
Correct. Mulberry,
And
then
if
Magnolia.
We does that, we'll give, the water coming off the school will go straight across off of 9th Street, off the two other intersections. Where before it get to that corner, it would, relieve some of that water off before it get to, Catawba.
Right.
Hopefully, but I wanted to get with some engineering and see if that would be feasible and what the cost on it.
Lane runs from,
From
Magnolia
to Catawba, yes, sir.
Behind you.
Right.
Well, Moose, do we have any, in-house engineers that can do anything on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get, Joey
Joey,
Turo, I'm gonna get Joey Turo out there and maybe shoot some little grade, see exactly where that water's flowing and see what we can come up with to alleviate some of that.
And we have to work with the city, because we're gonna be crossing their street,
Right.
so we're gonna have to get
And then-
permit
and then
to cross
along-
their street.
And then the
If
ditches,
Joey
Yeah.
agree.
and then the roadside ditches, digging them out.
So, then, I hope that would satisfy you for right now, but I would encourage you to keep checking on it with us. We have a tendency to put stuff on the back burner, so.
I understand. It's my intent since my retirement to be more active on some issues that we have.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is one of them, of course.
All right.
Maine. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
So do we need,
Well, we're gonna
Mr. Pierce is gonna.
look into it and
Yeah.
report back to us on
Report
it.
at the next meeting.
All right. Okay. Item number 8, well, we're going to 11th Street and Highway 1 drainage update.
Yeah, we'll continue to pursue a permit for Union Pacific Railroad. That is a very tough one, but we're getting assistance from the state, and also there's a business adjacent to the railroad properties that experience flooding like his
JB.
during the rainfall, and we're going to set up a survey to see if the water can go towards White Castle too on the ditch right behind that,
Okay.
not the railroad.
So we're
So
gonna,
you could do all that at the same time?
correct.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna shoot some elevations over there and see if we can take that water towards White Castle.
All right. Item number 9 is driveway issue with Miss Marmalette Dawson.
Purchase order's been issued. All we gotta do is, the purchase order's been issued to the contractor, and all he's gotta do is give us a date to do it. So we'll call him up and, schedule.
Okay. Miss Marmalette have been notified that they're gonna be coming to do it, so they can make some arrangement or whatever.
Yeah, we hadn't notified her yet because the purchase order was issued, but when we contacted the guy,
Okay.
the contractor to come out, we're gonna let her know we're coming there.
All right. Yeah, please, I won't need that call. All right, moving on to item number 10, report. Mr. Anderson is not here. Mr. Thomas Pierce.
Yeah, we had a ditch outfall that was covered when the railroad put the bridge across Bayou Lafourche, and that resulted in some water build up under the Highway 1 South underpass, and there's a catch basin that needs to be replaced or put in, and then piping run from that catch basin to the Bayou Lafourche. And that cost estimate is about $30,000. So we're just gonna need approval on that, if y'all so desire. And as soon as we get the right of ways, if y'all approve it, then we'll start doing the project.
I mean, I don't have the financials. Where are we in the budget? Where is that in the budget?
Well, we normally have about 25,000 in supplies, something like that, Moon?
Yeah, and piping and piping.
Right.
I don't know if it's 25, I'd have to check the number on that. But, we can bring those figures, or I can get with y'all after this meeting and give you the figures.
Well, I just like the public just to know the history of this a little bit, if you don't mind. The water under an underpass used to go directly to the bayou. The railroad company came and restructured the railroad crossing that crossed Bayou Lafourche. And in that process, they cover up that drainage the state had, the right-of-way. But the state had a right-of-way within the railroad right-of-way. So railroad company override the state right-of-way.
Yes.
Now the state say their responsibility is only for the water that is in the state right-of-way. So they are working with us, but as usual, the state does not have any funding, so this will have to come out of our drainage budget that we did not budget for. So that's $30,000 that we have to look for, Mr. Dawson. Correct?
Yeah, I don't have a paper to look.
Understand. But just the public know, this is sub-mile outreach, but we have to do it. It's a safety issue. And the freshwater district say it's not, the freshwater district say it's not their responsibility, but they would give us the right-of-way on the property they own from Highway 1 to the bayou. So it is a collaborative in everyone working with it, but the funding is coming from what's Ascension drainage. Any other input on that? None. So move. Moose, any other info? That's it?
That's it.
All right, item number 11, date, time, and next board meeting.
March 7th.
March 7th. Okay. All right. Item number 12.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. Second. Meeting adjourned.